My friend, the best YouTube show, the best program on any platform is one that is produced by a fine American and a former Navy SEAL, which is the basis of this. His name is Don Shipley. And Don Shipley has his site, which is, and I'll have all of this below, Don Shipley, former Buds 131. The greatest show, bar none, for a number of reasons. Stolen valor, as you know, in layman's term, is somebody who claims that they were a member of either military, they won different citations, medals for valor, they achieved a particular rank, but normally it's theoretically thought of in terms of receiving something from it, maybe a discount or a position, maybe getting government services by virtue of this claimed status. I'm not so sure about somebody who just is a liar, who just claims that he was a SEAL. But we'll argue this later. And by the way, there'll be follow-ups to that. But why this case is important is this is a study of some of the most demented people, psychopathic, I mean, truly off the charts psychopaths, people who have no ability to appreciate consequence. They have absolutely no qualms. Remember I've talked about this head-heart connection. There is no soul, no connection to, I can't say this. I can't, I look like a fool. And no ability to understand, oftentimes by virtue of these medals that they slap together in these uniforms. You would think they would apply a de minimis amount of research just to figure out where ribbons and decorations go and how you can't have 8 Medal of Honor citations, and how anyone can claim to be the recipient, not the winner, but the recipient of the Medal of Honor. That is sacrilege. So what he does is, it works like this. Don Shipley is just a great guy. He and his wife, Diane, they have the consummate love affair. They love each other madly. And one day I'll go into how he interweaves and jump cuts into little episodes and arguments with Diane, makes her wear a Valkyrie helmet. I mean, it's fantastic. Family Guy 100%, with a head of hair that is superhuman, but I won't digress. Absolutely incredible. Now it works like this. Normally, everybody knows Don Shipley. And if you're in the fake SEAL biz, and you know enough to know about Bud's class numbers and EODs and you would think you might not want to run into Don Shipley. You'd think, it's like there was the old joke, what's the worst thing in the world for you to hear? Is for your secretary to say, there's a Mike Wallace out here in the waiting room. Yeah, Mike Wallace. The worst is Don Shipley's on the phone. Or to get a call from a friend of yours, and your friend, whom you've told you were a Navy SEAL, all of a sudden says, hey, I got a buddy of mine here who's was in the Navy, wants to talk to you. And normally, when you hear that, hang up. First of all, how many people do you know when you're talking to somebody and the person you're talking to says, hey, I got somebody I want you to talk to? It's like, wait a minute, what? I called you. Why am I talking to somebody? Yeah, he was in the Navy. Hang up. It's Shipley. You don't understand. You're dead. You're finished. You're through. But they don't know this. And many times they do know. So it works like this. Somebody will call up and say, yeah, Don, hi, listen, my name is so-and-so. I'm at the VFW Lodge here in Eddingtonsboro, Wyoming, and this guy came in, and he seems like a nice enough fella, and he claims to have won the medal, received the Medal of Honor and 6 Silver Cross stars and distinguished service, and he says he was a Navy SEAL, and there's just something about it, or somebody calls him and says, Don, my mother is dating somebody who I think he's after her money. He claims to have been a Navy SEAL, and they go and they get tattoos of the trident and everything. For whatever reason, they call up Don. Now, here's what's interesting. Don Shipley has, by virtue of his connection, his position, a list of every SEAL from when they were called frogmen to before John Kennedy commissioned them. To the Civil War. I digress, but I think in the 40s or whatever, he's got every single person who's ever been in any way connected with SEALs, BUDS, basic underwater demolition, /SEAL, whatever. And it's not classified, and it's not top secret, and it's right there. SEALs will tell you, going through being a SEAL is like saying I was in the Marines. Okay? So they will tell you, well, I can't. And when Don says, "Hey, Joe, what? You happen to know your BUDS number, your team number? Is you SEAL Team 5? Or you?" When he starts asking you questions, what was your BUDS class? What was your BUDS class? When you hear that, it's over. It's done. It's done. You're through. Pack it up. So let me give you an example of one. And Don will always suffer. Hey, shipmate. Hey, shipmate. I was in the Navy as well, and I was a bosun's mate. I married the prettiest bosun's mate in the Navy. Well, I'll be doggone. He's just so homespun. He's setting you up, and he lures you in. When he gives you the hey, shipmate, it's over. It's Shipley. You're through. You're finished. Stick a fork in it. Let me give you an example. This is a beautiful one. I'm going to break this thing down, as we say, and dissect it, because I want you to know what to look for. And you, if you haven't seen him, you'll be hooked. Hooked. All right? It goes something like this. Let me see. Let's start off. Now look at the guy on the left. This is Don's look of disgust. This is his look of absolute disgust. Don always says, my blood pressure, I had better thing. I would rather be with my granddaughter or out hunting geese or whatever he does. But I gotta talk to these people, and he has mastered this. So this guy on the left has no idea what he's in for.
No. Sorry, I don't see you listed. Do you want to name one of the guys you went through training with?
Now this is what Don Shipley does. And this is important to know. How many people do not know what year they graduated from high school, or what year they graduated from medical school, or what year they got married? I mean, who does it? Who doesn't remember the year? When you've been through 6 months or 6 weeks or whatever the hell this BUDS training is, that number seared in the number. It's just, you don't forget it. You'll forget your wife's name and the names of your kids before you remember this thing you went through that everybody remembers when you're meeting. What were you? I'm an old timer. What was it? Oh, and the lower the number, the older you are. You get somebody who's like, 40, 50, Don was 131 in like 1984. So it kind of gives you an idea. So everybody knows numbers. Everybody knows numbers. Your BUDS class number, everybody. Or if somebody says, well, I may not know the number, but I know the master chief of this and that, the lieutenant. I know I can name 6, 7, 8, 10 people that I've remained close with throughout the years. I've been to maybe funerals. You know people's names. You can say stuff that, oh my God, just by virtue of, you think about it, when you went to high school, you may not know every. But you can name people. Okay, you got the point? Okay. So when they do this, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. Or I'm a little shingat, little trauma. Or it's classified. Or is it my DD24? No, I don't know where that is. I'm not sure. It was on my official records, but they were burned in a fire. Listen to this nonsense.
One of the EOD officers, his last name was Thornton.
EOD officers? What's an EOD officer doing in Bud's training?
He was one of the training officers.
He was a training officer in that class?
Now, right now, see, EOD, explosive ordnance disposal. Now, this guy really stepped in it. He's hit some area of like, wait a minute, a what? In a SEAL class? What? What? And oh my God. Well, I got your DD-240. I'm not going to talk about your DD-240. You did what? So now Shipley's got you.
He was in Bud's class, yeah.
Doing push-ups right next to you?
No. He was what was he?
Here we go. Watch him dig. And remember, if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. See Don's face? Look at that. He's disgusted. And he knows I got you.
I want to say a second or first class.
An EOD officer that was a second or first class officers are usually, lieutenants and shit.
He wasn't an officer. He
well, he wasn't an officer. Well, he was. His name was Buddy Strickland, I think. No. Well, it's been a long time. I caught a lot of shrapnel. Got a lot of shrapnel. I don't remember his name. His name was Buddy Jeffords. No, that's not it. No, he was a no. Did I say EOD? No, I didn't mean that, Don. I meant DOD, Department of. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
He helped train.
So he was a first or second class?
Yeah.
As an EOD guy?
He may have been. I don't know.
Don, he may be. I mean, Don, I don't know, Don. Buddy, come on, give me a break. It was a long time ago. He was a general or a field marshal or something. I don't know.
He may have been a chief. I don't remember.
Why would an EOD guy be teaching Navy SEALs?
Well,
he was one of the instructors down there.
One of them.
No, he wasn't.
What?
That would be like having a Marine teaching Navy SEAL candidates. Navy SEAL candidates are taught by Navy SEALs.
Well,
you know how many times I've verified you over the years of being a fake SEAL?
No, I don't.
That's great. What?
They dig deeper and deeper. Well, I don't know. See, partner, about 5 years. No, it was. See, what happened was I got a rocket. I got what's called an IED, straight to the head, straight to the noggin. And well, that's a little bit. I'm a little foggy. I don't remember how old of it. But you can imagine, Don. Hell, I've been, war as hell, and hell, I don't know. He was a general or something. I don't know. You asked me a lot of questions, Don. I don't know. Now, here's the new victim. This guy too. I don't even know what. By the way, one thing about Don Shipley, the editing, it's like Kubrick. It's like you don't know what it might be here. Then his wife Diane they're arguing about pork and beans, and then back again. It's great. Or he's out with his dog. I love it. Love it. Let's go to the next victim.
Verified you over the years of being a fake SEAL. That's great. What was your SEAL training class number?
Now this by stop. Normally the numbers are 120. Don was 131. Okay, you got an idea. 3 numbers max. Okay, three numbers max. You got it. Hell, even I know that. Okay, ready? Now hang on. Now, when Don does that, Don's getting his glasses on, and he's got the SEAL database right in front of him. And he's looking at that and also look at you. He gives you that look like, that look. Look, can you believe what this guy said? Okay, Don's got his glasses out. He's going to be looking now. He's waiting for the number. Remember, 3 digits.
I want to say 2100 56867. I think.
Look at Don's face. What? This would be in the year 27,000. Wait, what is he talking about?
You can't. I got it somewhere, but I can't. I'm going. I told you, my memory shot.
But my memory shot. I was hit. Direct hit with an IED. It was one of these Taliban fellers. I don't know what the hell. I don't know where I am. Hell, sometimes I wake up. I made Biden look like Niels Bohr, for God's sake. Or my sister's got my records. I don't know. I don't. I'm at work now. Don, can I call you back? I got a customer here. And that means he's never going to call back. And Don never gets you off the phone. He never says, yeah, call me back, because he'll never hear from you again.
There's been many miles in 30 years, I can tell you, my friend.
30 years.
I believe that was my number.
What was it again?
I believe it was 100568667. I believe. I believe that's what it was.
I'm not sure.
I thought they had numbers at that's a pretty steep number there. I thought they had them.
Well, you got to remember now. When you first go in,
here we go.
You go in as your soc, and that's your 6 months. But as soon as you're assigned to the CIA, you're assigned a new number.
Oh, wow.
That's the number I just gave you.
They've given you a number and taken away your name. It's called Johnny Rivers in here, will you?
You know what?
Ever.
There's two people on this phone who know you're full of, and that's you and me. So I don't.
I cut that out, by the way. There might be youngins watching. I just want to let you know. John gets a little salty. He was a Buds man. He was a Navy man, a little salty. So I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Hope you don't mind.
I think your membership's going to get approved, and I don't like your stories. And
I am very, very upset.
Here we go. No, they go. I am upset, and I want to apologize to you, and thank you for your service. They start apologizing. Apologizing for what? Then they don't know what to do. Then they're both upset and contrite, and they spew apologias.
Oh, good.
I am very appalled, and if
Appalled at
I
whom?
offended you, and you sat there and you listened to everything I said, and if you would have traced the dates of everywhere I was and what I did, you would know. I also explained to you through the CIA, you aren't going to find anything.
That's right.
You call whatever you want. I'll come down there right now and show you the bullet holes.
He said, I'm going to show you the bullet holes. Now, see, look. This, sometimes there are folks where you see them on, there's two kinds of stolen valor videos. One of them is the guy who's walking around, he's a little med-babu, little shin god walking around, and he's obviously, he's one French fry short of a Happy Meal, you know what I mean? 2 bricks short of a load, you know what I mean? We're Signal 20, we're talking out of it. That's kind of sad. Somebody wears like this. But these folks are not, you can't believe. Now, Don will also sometimes show up. There was a fellow who said he was, and Medal of Honor. He met this one guy, said he was a rear admiral. And he shows up, and they're so demented, they're so bulletproof, they're so devoid of any kind of connection to reality that they walk into like a VFW with people who are themselves servicemen, actually, retired and officers and the like, who know this inside and out and can tell when a ribbon is out of order, or you're not wearing your tie right, or you're too old to be walking around some 7-year-old man with a gunnery sergeant in a full uniform. I mean, just not wearing his cover, not doing this, not all that. I mean, it's so they don't care, and they're not daft. They are liars. They know a predatory mendacity, the likes of which no one has seen. It is absolutely incredible. So do it. I watch these, like I said, over and over again. They are fantastic. And I want to know and by the way, there was some problems, believe it or not, with the Supreme Court in terms of the whether you had a First Amendment right to claim, stuff that if you weren't necessarily, if it was you weren't the recipient of remuneration or benefits or whatever, but that notwithstanding, to go in and to think that there are people who have, aside from having given their lives, lost their lives, lost their youth, lost their families, people who have done things. And not everybody who's been in the military, suffered greatly. But this past weekend, we had Fleet Week here in New York. And every Memorial Day, we have Fleet Week. We have ships that come in. So we have Navy and Marines just walking around and enjoying the sights, and everybody opens them up in their arms, and you just see them everywhere. And I'm thinking, these young men are on these, and women are on this ship, and they're going around the world, and they're actually involved in representing and defending the country. That's what they do. That's what they're for. They may look like they're having a good time, but when it hits the fan, they, man battle stations. They're ready to go. And these people make this up, and they talk about, well, I have survivor's guilt. It's enough to make you, and as Don indicates, you cannot believe the hubristic, again, the mendacity, I'm overusing the word, the lying. The law defines a lie as a misrepresentation of fact with the intent to deceive. And we live in a world with misinformation, disinformation, bad information, and false. So we're always into what's fake and what's not. This is as fake and as horrible as you can imagine. So I'm going to put all of the links below. It's the greatest. This is such a treatment in terms of what you learn about human nature. So Diane Shipley, his beloved, by the way, I'll put you her YouTube channel is at Navy Mom 22, and Don Shipley, former Buds 131, and he is absolutely superb. And it's also some of the best cross-examination and luring people into the pit, into the snare, and then gotcha. And they can't get out. Sometimes people will, the saddest ones are, this one older fellow said, I don't know, I was just trying to get attention. I don't know. I'll stop. I'm sorry. And others will not. You can. And let me tell you something. These people may not actually be involved in the taking of a life, but the level of psychopathy exhibited and illustrated by their behavior makes Ted Bundy look like somebody who double parks in front of a TJ Maxx. And no, I don't know what the hell that means either. So in any event, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Please like this video. And Don Shipley, thank you so much. You have no idea. And Diane, you have brought not only hours of entertainment, sheer entertainment, but I've learned so much about the human condition. I've learned so much about psychopathy and mendacity and how fantasy and illusion and deception are just how people are capable of this. It's just incredible. So thank you. And what do you think, dear friends? Put your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think about this. Are you a fan of Don Shipley's? If you're not, you will be now. The greatest. So let me see what you think and comment as you see fit.